The weather in Asram Mawalukiteswara is now clean and clear. Excuse me. Thanks God, the weather is clean and clear. Now we are entering the last day of December meditation class. And I am going to share to you a new story about perfectly bloom into love. Perfectly bloom into love. But before guided meditation, I will share to you a new story about beautiful mind. Short new story, beautiful mind. Let's start our meeting by discussing a beautiful topic about a beautiful mind. When I was still young, there was a beautiful movie. The title is Beautiful Mind. Sharing the story of a scholar, his name was John Nash, who was healed by a serious mental illness. John Nash. To make the story short, the reason behind why Dr. John Nash was completely healed from schizophrenia, it is because of the beautiful mind. Some of you may raise the question, what is beautiful mind? That is the topic that I'm going to share to you. What is beautiful mind? Mind can be the source of poison. Mind can be the source of medicine as well. It depends on how skillful you are to train your mind. How skillful you are. If you never train your mind, you put the mind as your own master, you follow anything that appear in the mind, then mind can become the source of poison. If you think negatively about someone, you speak negatively. If you have bad mood, then you reacting to bad mood by being angry to your wife. That is what I mean by mind as the source of poison. Beautiful mind is the opposite. The mind is no longer the source of poison, but the source of medicine. That is exactly what happened in Dr. John Nash in the beautiful film of Beautiful Mind. To make the story clean and clear, the mind is like the field in which there are all seeds there. In the mind, there are all seeds, all. Pain, pleasure, sad, glad, sorrow, joy, bad, good. All seeds are available there in the mind. Some seeds we inherited from our ancestor. Some seeds we got it from the childhood as a result of interaction. All seeds are there in the field of mind. All seeds. What I mean by the mind as the source of poison, people do not intentionally train the mind. As a result, it's like garden which has never been cleaned. There are a lot of weeds and wild trees there. What I mean by beautiful mind is the opposite. We take good care of the mind as good as we take good care of the garden. We pull the weeds every day. We take good care of the dry leaf. That is what I mean by the directions of beautiful mind. The following question then, how to take good care of the beautiful garden of the mind? The name of the game is practice. But before we proceed into practice, it is very important to choose the wise environment, especially because it is hard to imagine that beautiful seed will grow beautifully when the environment is unsuitable. Choose your environment wisely. As an example, even the Holy Buddha surround himself with 1,250 monks just to make sure that his environment was a very supportive environment. The dangerous things can happen to your mind. Your mind can become the source of poison if you do not choose your environment wisely. What I mean by the wise environment is the environment of the people who can see the positive seeds inside you. The environment who have a limited critic to you, who have limited conflict with you. But the most important thing is the people who can share each other to see the positive and the healthy side inside us. That is what I mean by beautiful mind. That is also the most important reason. For the last 20 years, I developed my own spiritual family here in Bali, the spiritual family of compassion. Because the environment is very important. Without healthy environment, it is hard to imagine that healthy seed can grow beautifully. Choose your environment wisely. Use feeling as your own guide. Grow only in the place where you feel well, where you feel comfortable. The first one, choose the environment wisely. The second one, which is the most important thing, is practice. Practice, practice. Like learning to ride bicycle. Practice is the only name of the game. What exactly the practice that can transform the mind as source of poison into the mind as source of medicine? Be a compassionate witness. Anything can happen in life. Bad experience like being blamed by the others, or you experience the upward energy movement in your backs, your kundalini. Both bad and good experience. Remember, you are not the experience. You are not the experiencer. You are the third. You are the witness. Take the same distance to both positive and negative. Take the same distance to sad, glad. Take the same distance to sorrow and joy. Remember, you are not the experience. You are not the experiencer. You are the witness. That is the most important practice, not only in meditation, but also in daily life. Not only in meditation, but also in daily life. If you are an advanced traveler in spiritual journey, you are even suggested to be a witness in the dream. That is what I mean by meditation 24 hours a day. Even in the dream, you keep being a witness. You are not those happen inside. You are not those things happen outside. You are the witness. To put it more precisely, the compassionate witness. As further explanation, in Sanskrit world, there is terminology parikalpita, paratantra, and parinispana. What I mean by parikalpita as part of the journey from the mind as source of poison into the mind as source of medicine. Parikalpita is the collective mental energy that we inherited from the surrounding environment. For example, most people are very afraid about the snake. But as we all know, our body naturally is not the food of the snake. Naturally, snake is not our enemy. But since we have been educated from the childhood, snake is dangerous, snake is dangerous, snake and dangerous, then every time you meet a snake, something very bad happen inside. Fear, want to run away, dangerous. That is what I mean by parikalpita. So that's why not all the things that appear from the mind will become something that you need to follow. In the terminology of parikalpita is what is it? Collective state of being. We learn from the environment. The second one is Paratantra. Paratantra means everything is interdependent. There is nothing which is perfectly independent here in this realm. Everything is interdependent. Sad depend on the glad. There will be no deep happiness if there is no deep sadness. If you remove the darkness, you will remove the light as well. Interdependent. That is another approach of training the mind from the mind as source of poison into the mind as source of poison, as source of medicine. Excuse me. Everything is interdependent. If you deeply understand the idea of interdependence, you will not be easily get angry to the others, because anger is not something independent. Someone who is angry to you, it is not something independent. It depends on the others. Maybe his lack of sleep in the previous night. Maybe he has a problem with the wife. He has financial problem, a lot of things. And you yourself also play an important role in making the others angry. Very interdependent. Once again, if you deeply understand the interdependent nature of everything, you are no longer become the victim of the mind. You begin to become the masters of the mind. His Holiness Thich once was asked by one of his Western students, what is Zen? Because His Holiness Thich is a Zen master. What is Zen? Zen is this mic. This mic is Zen. Because Zen consists of non-Zen. That's beautiful answer. If you see flower is not something independent. In the flower there is sunshine. In the flowers there is the soil. There is the hard work of the farmer and the gardener. A lot of things. The second one is very important. Paratantra. Everything is interdependent. If you deeply understand that everything is interdependent, those people who serve violence, they are not independent. Maybe they have a problematic childhood. The terrorists, as another example, they are not independent. They have wrong understanding about their religion. Their childhood may be very problematic. They have also very problematic school. A lot of things. If you deeply understand the interdependent nature of everything, you will grow from the victim of mind into the master of the mind. As a result, the mind is no longer the source of poison. The mind begins to be the source of medicine. The last one after Parikalpita, Paratantra, is Parinispana. This is the fruit of training the mind. What I mean by Parinispana is everything is perfect as they are. Coconut is perfect on the beach. The pine tree is perfect on the mountain. Frangipani is perfect in the dry land. Lotus is perfect in the wet pond. In the moment of raining, duck jump into the pond, chicken hide under the tree. They are different, but they are happy as they are. That is Parinispana. That is also the most important characteristics of beautiful mind. Another explanation about beautiful mind. As you cannot separate water with wet, you cannot separate flower with beauty. You cannot separate wisdom and compassion. To put it more precisely, what I mean by beautiful mind is the combination between wisdom and compassion. Wisdom which is inseparable with compassion, as natural as water which is wet, as natural as flower which is beautiful. That is what I mean by beautiful mind. The mind which is no longer become the source of poison, but the mind which is the source of medicine. The journey to go there, remember, first of all, choose your environment wisely, because the mind is the field with all seeds there. But the beautiful seed will grow beautifully when you choose your environment wisely. The second one, which is more important, the name of the game is practice, practice, practice. Practice make your mind is like beautiful garden, well managed beautiful garden. Practice. What I mean by practice is continuously to become a compassionate witness. Anything happen, negative or positive, sad or glad, pain or pleasure, remember, you are not the experience, you are not the experiencer, but you are the compassionate witness. As a result, if you keep practicing as compassionate witness, the flower which is beautifully bloom within is wisdom, which is inseparable with compassion. Compassion is no longer become the order of Holy Scripture. Compassion become your natural nature, as natural as water which is wet, as natural as flower which is beautiful. In this stage, loving kindness and compassion become effortless, because your natural nature is wisdom and compassion. That is beautiful mind. That is also the mind that healed John Nash from the dangerous mental illness of schizophrenia. The key word is grow from the mind which is source of poison into the mind which is source of medicine. What is the mind which is full of a source of poison? Negative, full of critique, full of conflict inside. What is the mind as source of medicine? Remember, Parinishvana. Everything is perfect as they are. Frangipani grow in the dry land. Lotus grow in the wet pond. They are different, but they are beautiful as they are. That is wisdom. But remember, wisdom is inseparable with compassion. That is what exactly I mean by beautiful mind. The mind as source of medicine, no longer the mind as source of poison. Excuse me. Now we are going to meditate. Before I share to you our new topic of today, perfectly bloom into love. We are going to meditate now. Only short meditation, few minutes. At the same time, we are waiting for thousands of friends who are in the process of joining together with us. Now we are going to meditate. Beautiful heart, beautiful friend, light seeker, peace lover, students on the path of meditation, wherever you are, in Bali or outside Bali, in Indonesia or outside Indonesia. Some of you are in the long distance country like Germany. Some of you are in Australia. Some of you are in Britain. Now we are going to meditate. First of all, remember to cross your leg. in order to avoid downward movement of energy. Secondly, make your head and back straight but relaxed. Thirdly, your wings, make it as natural as possible. It is not too open, not too close. The positions of your hands is totally up to you. You may follow the positions of your hand, which is suggested by your own religion. If you are fresh, the body is extremely fresh. There is no sign of being sleepy. Close the eyes. But if you feel a little bit sleepy, open your eyes a little bit. Kindly allow me to be your own guide. Now we are going to meditate. The conclusion that meditation heals has been widely researched in every corner of the world, even involving high advanced machines like EEG and MRI. For that reason, now learn to rest the mind. One key word, rest. Rest the mind from any kind of inner conflict and inner critic. As concluded by energy researcher, most of the energy draining come out from negative and critical mind. As soon as you perfectly rest the mind, all energy draining that come out from the mind will completely stop. As a result, body will have all the capacity to heal itself. For that reason, remember, beautiful soul, take rest in this moment as it is. Take rest. Anything that happened in this moment, from numbness until peace of mind, that is the best. Learn to use any sound, any obstacle as holy bell to remind your mind. Take a rest. Like here in Ashram Avalokiteswara in the high mountain northern part of Bali, we hear the barking dog in the long distance. Use the sound of barking dogs as holy bell to remind the mind. Take rest in this moment as it is. That is the innermost core of meditation. To put it more precisely, feel the gap between two breaths, between in-breath and out-breath, between out-breath and in-breath. There is a gap, less than 1 second. No need to hold the breath, no need to shorten the breath. Simply feel the gap. That is the place when you can rest your mind perfectly on the gap between two breaths. The mind which is the source of medicine, not the mind as a source of poison. It's like space. Anything, both negative and positive, can happen in this moment. Give them space. Without attachment, without rejection, give them space. That is another explanation of perfectly resting the mind. Remember, beautiful souls, there is no such thing as bad meditation. Everything that happened in this moment, that is the best. And one of your best friends in the time meditation is beautiful smile. Not the ordinary smile, but the smile which is deeply understand. Anything that happens is the dancings of the same perfection. Anything that happens is the dancings of the same God, if you like. Anything that happens is the smile of the same Buddha. For that reason, in the moment when you feel the gap between two breaths, remember to smile. Smile is an indicator that you are no longer a victim. You are now a master. Anything that happens in life like clouds that coming and going. The dark cloud, the white clouds, they all come and go. And you are no longer those clouds of bad experience or good experience. You are the blue sky of pure awareness. Another explanation, anything that happens in life, bad or good, are like are like image on the screen. And those images does not change the screen of pure awareness. Feel the gap between two breaths, beautiful soul. Remember, in the moment you feel the gap between two breaths, remember to smile. Not the ordinary smile. The smile which has been equipped with deep understanding. Everything that happened in this moment, that is the best. Now, before we open our eyes from short meditation, remember to whisper the beautiful mantra of Aham Prema, meaning I am love who is here to share love. Aham Prema, Aham Prema, Aham Prema. I am love, who is here to share love. Thank you, beautiful soul, wherever you are. Thank you for following our guided meditation. Now we are ready to discuss a new topic of perfectly bloom into love. Let me start explaining this beautiful topic of perfectly bloom into love by sharing to all of you the complaints of many old people, mostly a men, not women, mostly a men. I have been meeting old men who keep complaining like this. My age is old enough. I even have a lot of grandchildren. But I still easily fall in love to another woman. What happened to me? Am I crazy? That is the question and the complaint of many old people. I have been old enough, I have a lot of grandchildren, but I still interested in the beauty of another woman which is not my wife. Is there anything wrong with me? That is the questions of many people. At the same time, there is also a real and true example of the people who is poisoned by the energy of sex, being poisoned. So that's why it is understandable that all religion prohibited sexual interaction at the beginning of the journey, because it is very powerful. It is too powerful. If you do not practice consciousness, then the energy of sex is very dangerous. Even the old men still fall in love to another woman, even though they have grandchildren already. That is what I mean by being poisoned by sex. But what I'm going to share now is not the person who is being poisoned by sexual energy, but being uplifted by sexual energy. In Tantra, the famous person in this case, his name is Saraha. He was a very famous man from India. As a deeper explanation, sex is an energy where we come from. Let me repeat again. Sex is an energy where we come from. In the religion which believe in God, it is one of the manifestations of God. Why should we afraid too much about God? Because sex is an energy from where we all come from. So that's why today we explore this problem a little bit deeper. The intention is very simple. You are no longer being poisoned by sexual energy, but you are being uplifted by sexual energy. There are 4 chapters that I'm going to share to you in this beautiful day from northern part of Bali in the high mountain. The weather is very clear and clean, even though this is raining season. The first chapter is Fall in Love. The second chapter is Rise in Love. The third chapter is Bloom into Love. The last one is The Science of Attainment. Let's start with the first chapter, Fall in Love. Teenagers especially, teenagers can easily fall in love with someone else. And what happened in the time of fall in love? The consciousness is fall from the head into the heart. That's why many illogical things can happen to the person who are fall in love, because the consciousness is fall from the head into the heart. For your own information, if you deeply learn about history, a lot of dangerous war happened because of sexual energy. because people are too attached to sexual energy. A lot of conflict in human history also happened because of sexual energy. So that's why it is understandable if sexual energy is extremely prohibited by almost all religion, especially for the public beginners. Why? Because the energy of sex is very strong, too strong to the beginner. But the beautiful story today, there are very few spiritual seekers who are no longer being poisoned by sexual energy, but being uplifted by sexual energy. For that reason, in the moment of falling in love, be careful, be careful. Your consciousness fall from head and heart. Your best protector is the practice of mindfulness. Be careful. If you are not well protected by the practice of mindfulness, in the moment of fall in love, you can be dangerous. You can be dangerous. Your family as well can be dangerous. So that's why learn to protect yourself by using the energy of mindfulness. For your own information, and this topic we are going to explore again and again. All holes in our body, the holes of our body, eyes, ears, mouth, nose, especially the hole in our sexual organ, it is only a door. Sadly speaking, most people keep standing on the door. Those doors, the holes in our body, especially the hole in our sexual organ, it is the gate to enter inside. The problem with the people who is poisoned by sexual energy, they keep standing on the door. They never even think to go inside. Please remember, this message is very important. The holes in our body, especially the hole in our sexual organ, it is very important door to go inside. For that reason, use the moment of falling in love as holy bell to go inside, not to chase someone outside. The thing that happened with problematic soul, in the moment of fall in love, they chase a person outside. They think that there is someone outside who can fill our gap inside. No, no. The idea of soulmate which come from Greek 100 years ago. Say goodbye. It is dangerous. Why? Because all the holes in our body, especially the hole in our sexual organ, it is a door to go inside. It is not an energy to chase someone else outside. Be careful. And your best protector in the moment of fall in love, remember, deep practice of mindfulness. The idea of soulmate, which come from the Greek, the assumption is like this. Not saying it is wrong. No, not saying it's wrong. There is something missing inside, and we keep thinking that the energy that can heal the missing energy inside is someone outside. As experienced by many people, that is dangerous. The more you seek outside, the more you will be dissatisfied. So that's why now we learn about the door, the hole inside it, the hole on our body, especially the hole in our sexual organ, as a door to go inside. Please, on the chapter about fall in love, in the moment you feel fall in love, use the energy of fall in love as a holy bell to go inside, not to chase someone else outside. That is the first chapter, fall in love. Remember, to protect yourself with the energy of mindfulness. Remember also to remind yourself the feeling of fall in love. It is not the moment of chasing someone else outside, but it is the moment to go inside, especially because the hole in our sexual organ, it is a door to go inside. Now we are entering the second chapter, Rise in Love. While in the moment of fall in love, the energy of love and sex can make us to the directions of dangerous direction. In the second chapter, we begin to be uplifted by the energy of sex, energy of love. Especially because the people who come to the stage of rise in love, they deeply understand the medicine is not outside, the medicine is inside. The soulmate that we keep imagining from one life to another life is not available outside. It is available inside. So for that reason, express the love energy, express the sexual energy, not by chasing someone else outside, but by serving someone else inside. Stop to become the beggar of love. You are no longer the beggar of love. In the stage of rise in love, you are no longer the beggar of love. You are now the source of love to the others. The key word is service. The late Mother Teresa, the late Mahatma Gandhi, the late Nelson Mandela are beautiful example in this case. They are all perfectly rise in love. The vibration is above 550, maybe 750, because they perfectly understand the medicine is not outside, the medicine is inside. How to get the medicine inside? The one who can fill the gap inside is not someone else inside, but the energy inside. How? The key word is service. Sincere service. That is the key word. That is also the clearest example about being uplifted, being rise in love. Remember, in the moment of fall in love, use the feeling of fall in love as the holy bell to go inside. In the second chapter of Rise in Love, stop to become the beggar of love. Learn to become the source of love to the others. The key word is service. In the moment of service, we do not only serve the others, but we also personally meet our greater self. Our self is not limited by this physical body, but greater than this physical body. So that's why service is very important. I suddenly remember about one of beautiful message in one of the ancient scripture. I have been seeking from one lifetime to another lifetime, and I found nothing. Later on, I stopped chasing. I focused on serving. Strangely, after serving people for long enough time, suddenly I realized the one who serves and the one who is being served are no longer two. That is a beautiful poetry. That is also another explanation about rise in love. Someone is no longer being poisoned by love and sexual energy, but being uplifted by love and sexual energy. Now we enter the third chapter, bloom into love. Bloom into love. In the second chapters of Rise in Love, you are being healed by love. But on the third chapter, you are being whole by love. Let me repeat one again. In the level of Rise in Love, you are being healed by love. But in the level of Bloom into Love, you are being whole by love. Because all the seeds of enlightenment is there already inside you. No need. In the moment of attaining enlightenment, enlightenment was not given by Holy Buddha or any kind of outside source of light, because the seeds of enlightenment is already there inside you. How to go there, and that is what I'm going to share to you in the chapter of Bloom into Love. In the moment of fall in love, there is the feeling of incomplete inside, incomplete. So that's why man can easily fall in love to woman, because man, which is dominantly masculine, missing the energy of feminine. The woman, which is dominantly feminine, missing the energy of masculine. What I mean by bloom into love is combining both the energy of masculine and energy of feminine inside. Both the energy of masculine and feminine are already there inside you. The key word is simple. Remember my previous message. All the holes on our human body, especially the hole on your sexual organ, that is the door to come outside. It is not the energy to chase someone else outside. So that's why in the chapter of Bloom into Love, it is very important to combine both the energy of feminine and the energy of masculine. Using the terminology of yin-yang from the ancient China. The white ones, the yin, the feminine energy. The dark one, the yang, which is the masculine energy. And both are you. That is what I mean by being whole by love, being whole by sexual energy. You have both the yin and the yang. You have both the feminine and the masculine energy. On the ancient path of the Tantra, how to combine, how to make the feminine and masculine energy got married inside. If your practice of Tantra teaching is deep enough, you will know. One day, the first chakra get married with the second chakra inside. It happened in the moment of deep sleep. You go further, the third chakra got married with the fourth chakra. It will happen to you in the moment of lucid dreaming. Later, the fifth chakra get married with the sixth chakra. It will happen in the moment of awake. As soon as the first and the second chakra got married, the third and the fourth chakra got married, the fifth and the sixth chakra got married, suddenly there will be a lotus with 1,000 petal bloom here in the seventh chakra. It will happen in the state of Turiya. Turiya, it is not in the moment of deep sleep, it is not in the moment of dream, it is not in the moment of awake. It is beyond the three. It is called Turiya. But be careful, be careful. Tantra, especially in this case, is like high voltage electricity. If you touch high voltage electricity, there are only two possibilities. Someone will die suddenly, or someone will attain enlightenment suddenly. So that's why I myself are not allowed to go into detail in this case because it is dangerous. This teaching is like high voltage electricity. If you touch it, there's only two possibilities. You can die suddenly or you can attain enlightenment suddenly. For the sincere students on this path, my best suggestion is simple. For those of you who are serious in this case, live your life with love. Live your life with love. Learn not to be poisoned by love and sexual energy. Simply live your life with love. If you are sincere in this case, one day there will be sacred hands who will guide you how to make the first, second chakra got married inside, how the fourth, third chakra got married, how the fifth and sixth chakra got married. There will be a sacred hand who will guide you. It is not only written in the Holy Scripture, it is also true according to me, according to my personal experience. It is true. As soon as you practice live life with love long time enough, there will be sacred hands who guide you personally. This is the thing to do, to make the energy of feminine and the energy of masculine got married inside. I'm not allowed to go into detail because it is dangerous. This is high voltage electricity. Now we come to the last chapter, the science of attainment. The first attainment in this beautiful path of perfectly bloom into love, you will begin to understand that those holes in the body, especially the holes in our sexual organ,